We're looking to make a 3D terrain map on a CNC out of wood. So we're going to be working in VCarve Pro, and we're going to get our STL file from jhhatch.com. We're going to go to Tarrain2STL because we need an STL file to create a G-code in VCarve. So we're going to hit that. We're going to zoom out. And I'm a BC boy originally, grew up in BC. Around by Kootenai Lake down here in Crescent. So we're going to carve a map of this area, Kootenai Lake, hills. You don't want prairie, you want hills, you want mountains, you want character. So we're going to hit center to view. And that's not a very big map. So we're going to go down here to model details. We're going to open that one. We can change the box size. Now I've tried different sizes. And large models I haven't had any luck with. So we're going to go about this big. We're going to go down here. We're going to take in Creston, Wendell, Nelson, Kootenai Bay, Castle, that kind of stuff. Okay. There's other settings here. We're going to leave our vertical scale to 1 because if you make it high, it's out of proportion. And that also means you need thicker wood. Depending on the size of scale you want. If you want a bigger scale, you might need 2-inch, but I'm going to work with some 1x8. I got some 1x8. I know this will work. And we're going to generate our model. This is going to take a minute or so. And then when we're done generating the model, we can download that onto the computer. And then from there, we can take it into VCarve Pro. And we can create a G-code that we can cut this out on our CNC. So this will be done generating here in a minute or two or so. Okay, now it's done generating. We hit download. We want to save this file. So it's getting ready here, 16 seconds. And this is all free. This Tarrain2STL it's a free program. You just go online, download it. Okay, now this is a zip file. We're going to download it. We're going to open it. And we have to extract it from the zip file. So here we're going to hit extract all. Here it's going to say extract compressed folder. And it's asking us where we want to put it. Well, we want to put it in our documents file. So we're going to go here to documents. It says folder documents. We're going to select this folder. That's where we want it to go. So it says here documents, and we're going to extract. That just takes a second. Okay, right here we have an STL file. I have a few other STL files in here. And here's the one we just downloaded. We can rename it if you like, but we're just going to leave it. So now we can close this. We're going to leave this open. We're going to go into VCarve. We're going to create a new file in VCarve Pro. Create a new file. Now I've been through here and done this before. So like I said earlier, I got a nice piece of 1x8. So we're going to go width of 8 inches, height of 12 inches, thickness of 1. I got 4/4 wood. It's always a full inch thick. It's unplaned. We're working in inches. We're going to zero off the machine bed because this will be carved away into the terrain that we see in a topographical map. So we're going to touch off our tool off to the side on the bed. Datum is centers. When you mark out your piece of wood, you're going to start in the middle. High resolution, we're going to hit OK. Now, we're going to go through, we've got drawing, modeling, clip art. We're going to go into modeling. We're going to import the STL. So up here, we have import components and 3D models, other settings. But we want to import the STL file. This is the one we just imported, the 481. So we're going to open this. This will take a minute, maybe a minute. Depends. I got the programs running on the computer, so take a minute here. And if your Wi-Fi is faster, it may take less time. There you go. So now we're going to come up here. It takes a minute for this to open, but we got our 3D model program here. We got our lock XYZ ratio. But as you can see, our width is 846 inches by 1319 inches. That's ridiculous. We're not going to carve a model that size. We're going to go 7 3/4. So it'll fit onto a 1x8. And you'll notice, because we have this locked, our model thickness is under 3/8. And it's about 12 inches, pretty close to what we had planned. We're going to hit apply. And we're going to take a look at this here. And we're going to hit OK. I'll leave this down at the bottom. We're going to hit OK. You can change where you want the model to sit. You hit OK. Here we have a 3D model, and we can go into create a toolpath. We can carve this as it is, but we want to put a few landmarks on here, something you know. So we're going to go back. We're going to go into drawing. We're going to add some text because we left this open. We know here it's Creston, BC. Here's a window. Here's Kootenay Bay. Slide this up a bit. We have Nelson. Zoom in. Boswell. Go a little farther up. Caslow. We can add some of this onto our 3D model, our 3D map. So Creston is, this is the Goat River Valley. Creston's right here. I know that. I live there. But you can see here is Goat River Valley. Goat River comes down here. And here's Creston. So we're in text. We can add Creston. And it's almost where it has to be. So that's right about there on the map. We're going to make this just a little bit smaller. We're going to go 0.15. Let's try that. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to go, you can go back. And Kootenay Bay is right here. Which is right here. So we can add up here. Kootenai Bay. So we'll stick that right up here where it belongs. It's a little large, so let's go a little bit smaller on this one here. That kind of fits in there pretty good. Oh, that should be a capital B on that. So we can carry on here, but I've done this before. So we're going to close this out. I'm not going to save this because I already have laid out this 3D map with Creston, Window, Boswell, Kootenai Bay, Nelson, and Castle, and Kitchener. It's a little hick down, there's not much here. So now, I also added a square with rounded corners. The purpose of this is to cut the model out after we're done machining and we're done VCarving. So we're going to go to toolpaths, and we're going to first thing is you're going to want to rough it out. Model boundaries, 1/4" end mill. Now I have the step over here at 60% because we're just hogging off material. So we're not looking for a clean finish. We have clearance. So we have our past depth of 1/4. Our step over is at 60%. You can use 50, 40, whatever you like. I'm going to calculate that. And then we can preview that if you like. What you see here is what you're going to get. And go into 3D finishing. 1/16 taper ball nose. So step over here is 12.5%. Well, 7, just under 8 thou. It's going to take a lot. So depending on what tool you use, if you want to use 1/8, whatever. Anyway, I chose 1/16, finer detail. Offset, raster. I'll stick with an offset. Next time maybe I'll try raster. But anyway, like I said before, I already calculated all of these. The VCarve. Go into 2D here. We'll see the towns. I have them all grouped together. So we're going to VCarve with a 30° 1/8 tool. And this is very important. Project toolpath onto 3D model. So whether there's a hill here, no matter what, low spots, high spots, whatever, your toolpath will project onto whatever the model surface is. So I hit calculate. And then the profile. You know how that works. You got your profile around the outside. We're going to cut outside. We're using a 1/8 mill end. Cut depth of 1 inch because our material is 1 inch. And same thing there. You're going to calculate that. Preview all. Oh, yeah, right. The backside. I got a keyhole. Always put a keyhole in the back. Go to the front side again. We'll go preview all toolpaths. So this will tell you what you see here now is what you're going to get on the machine. So if something ain't right now, you got to go back and find out what it is. It's probably pretty obvious. So we're going to go into 3D. And here we have our finished model. And as you can see, due to screen resolution, the lettering is not very clear here, but if you go into 2D, you can see it's quite clear. It will be clear when you're done your VCarve, your model cutting. With 3D roughing, 3D finish, come on, VCarve, oh, shut that one off. VCarve was the toolpaths for the lettering. Profile cuts it out. That's all you need. We're going to close that. Now, of course, you can save that. Save your toolpaths one at a time onto your disk. And then go set it up on the machine. And that's what we'll do next. So we got the majority of the bulk hogged off at the bigger mill. We're going to go now to 16th tapered ball nose. I know you don't need to rough off the majority with a tapered ball nose, but it just makes for less mess, because I don't really like running dust collection because it makes a lot of noise, and I don't like that. So we're going to go ahead here, put 16th inch tapered ball nose on, and we'll start the finish pass. Again, we're going to touch off the same place as we did last time. We'll go in to U-Disc 3D finish right here. And we're off. Big file is still reading the file. It's almost complete, and then I'm going to start on its own here. We'll let this run, and finished pass on this 3D terrain map of Kootenai Lake. It's looking pretty good, lots of detail. I'll get the VCarve going here pretty soon. Mark up some towns and landmarks. Be back shortly. Okay, the 3D finish pass is done on this map of the Kootenai Lake area. I'm going to do some recarving now, mark up some towns and landmarks and such, so we have reference marks. So we'll do some recarving now, and then we'll cut it out when we're done.